So this question is a stop loss based question here. So really you can kind of ignore the entry here. The question is all about setting up this trailing stop loss here, right? So simply put, David wants to move his stop losses down when he basically gets these pullbacks, reversal bars or pullbacks, and he wants to use a swing indicator, right? So we're going to use a swing indicator to identify these pullbacks here, right? Because there could be one or maybe two or maybe three bars, all right, of a pullback before the trend continues here. And so he wants to move the stop loss basically probably from the previous swing high, right? So if he's in a short trade over here, we have this swing high, right? And so we want to move the stop loss from the swing high, after the entry, down to the next, swing high produced by a pullback here, as the market continues down here. We will work on that. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find out what settings we need to use with a swing indicator, right? So if you're, again, if you're using a swing indicator, let's see if I can find an example here. All right, I'll just go with this here. Right, all right, so let's say, we're in a long trade, and so we have a swing low, produced right there, and then we get this little pullback, and so we get another swing low produced, and so we want the stop loss to move from swing low to swing low, up to swing low. Keep in mind, depending on how your swing indicator stop is set up, you might get these long wicks detected by your swing indicator as a swing low as well. So keep that in mind there as well. That, like that, yeah. All right, so let's set up our swing indicator. So I'm going to use the swing indicator here that comes with swing highs and lows. And let's just apply it to the chart and see what we get. There we go, right? So we just have the swing highs and the swing lows identified. So we probably need to knock the sensitivity down a bit. I think probably knock it down to 2. And let's see, I think we need to also knock the number of swings. Yeah, okay, actually, interesting. Yeah, so with these settings, so with the number of swings set to 2, actually I can see that this actually filtered out these wicks as being considered a swing low. Yeah, these wicks were filtered out. Let's see what happens if we go to 3 here. All right, yeah, that doesn't look good. Let's see here. And yeah, the minimum number of swings is actually 2. All right. Yeah, set it that way. And let's see here. Let's say, well, let me try something here. I'm going to see if we can actually get these wicks to show up. So let me do something like this. So I'm going to use the tightest plots here. So the widest plots, they are designed to detect basically, the highest highs and the lowest lows, and the tightest tops and tightest bottoms, their purpose is to detect intermediate swing points. So let's see, let's try this. Oh, oops, sorry. No wonder. I opened up the tightest tops. So, yeah, I was wondering why this is being marked as a swing low. So, my mistake there. Let's go and correct that color. All right, I wanted to actually open up the tightest bottoms. There. Yeah. All right. So after a little bit of experimenting, it doesn't look like we're gonna this this swing indicator's going to detect these long wicks there. So all right. So let's just kind of go back to the original plan here. And so let me turn off these tightest plots. Okay, so now that we have our settings, right? Now that we know our settings for the swing indicator here, so we're going to use number of swings 2, swing strength. Actually, I don't think the swing strength is going to matter much. I could probably knock that higher, but I'll just, I don't think it's going to influence much at all. Yeah. All right. So I'll just use 2. And I'll go back to 2 just to keep the numbers easy here. Yeah, so we're going to use a setting of 2 and 2 for our swing indicator. And there we go. So now and we have I'll leave the swing indicator on the chart so we have a visual aid so we can see, when the stop loss is actually going to step up. So, all right. So with the indicator, with the swing indicator settings known, let's get Blackbird up and running here. All right, so I'm gonna go into the strategies window, go into shark indicators, and there's Blackbird. Let's put that on the chart. Hit and let's enable it, and click OK. All right, here's Blackbird. Let me erase all my little lines there. And okay, so let's see where we're at here. All right, so maybe we could take a short trade here once we get things set up here. So let's open this up here. All right, I'm just simply going to create a market entry order, so that way we can get an order set started. All right, there. So now we have an order set to start working with, and let's just go straight into the stop loss here. And what I'm going to do is, right, you can see that from the quick list here, we actually have a swing low, swing high preset or quick list here. So I'm going to go to the trailing one because David wants this to trail, I believe. And and so there's a swing low, swing high trailing one here. So I'm going to use that to start off with. And then the next step is to go in here and adjust the settings here. So on the options tab, all right, options tab up here, we're going to go into the initial placement. And here, right, we can see we have, right, the swing indicator settings here, right? So number of swings, we can see it's already set to 2. The swing size, remember I said I was using 2 on that. The swing style was standard. And so now down here is where we select the plots. All right, let's stretch this out here. There. So you can see this is actually using the tightest plots here, right? The tightest plots. So let's just adjust these to the widest, like so. All right. So if if Blackbird is in a long trade, which of these plots from the indicator are we using? Well, we're using the bottom plots, right? The red line is the bottom. So here we go, right? So we're using the bottom, widest bottom plots, basically, right? So widest bottom plots. So, and then also, David wants a 2-tick offset from the swing line there. All right. So if we're in a long trade, we want 2 ticks below the swing low. And so if we're in a short trade here, he wants it to be 2 ticks above the swing high. Right? So we got a positive 2 ticks over here for a short trade, and then negative 2 ticks if we're in a long trade. All right, so there we go. So we just need to make a couple of adjustments to the plots that we're using and the indicator settings, and then also add in that offset. So that's the initial placement. And so next, we're going to need to go into the trailing actions and adjust the trailing rules. Right? So we're going to go straight to the action here. Right? So remember, the action is what the action column is, where you calculate the new price, of where you want your stop loss to be trailing to. All right. So we can see here we're gonna move our stop loss to the swing patterns, or the swing points. And again, let's see here. Our number of swings is already 2. Let's adjust our swing size down to 2. And again, we want to use the widest plots, like so. And then we also want that 2-tick offset, right? 2 ticks below the widest bottoms when we're in a long trade, right? And that was it, right? It was pretty straightforward there, pretty simple. So it took far longer to explain what was going on, right, than actually doing those quick adjustments there. And that should do it. So let's take this for a little test spin here. So let's see here. Well, let's take a little gamble here and let's take a short trade. All right. So here we go. Our stop loss started off at 2 ticks above that swing high, and we'll see what we get. Yeah, actually no, it's just probably going to take way too long to wait for the market here. So let me switch my data feed here. Let's disconnect. I'll get the simulated data feed going, and then that way we can force some pullbacks in the market. Okay, wow. All right, come on, I got the trend all the way up. What's going on here, Ninja? Okay, now it looks like the trend is starting to go up here. All right, let's go along there. All right, let me create a pullback. All right, let's reverse here. All right, there we go. So we have one stop loss trailing up. I'll just let the markets go a little higher. Then I'll make another pullback. And there we go. Another swing low, another trail higher. All right, this is going to keep on going. We'll just do one last one here. All right, and so David actually has a little follow-up question here. He wants to add a break even. So here, let me reverse the markets here. All right, I'll just leave the trend up like that. Okay, so yeah, Dave was asking, so how would you add a break even after 10 ticks of profit? Yep, and then, so break even after 10 ticks, and then swing, and then trail the swing, then trail by the swing low, swing high. So, all right, yeah, we'll add a break even to this. So, all right, yeah, there we go. So we just had our stop loss move up to the latest swing low there. All right, so if you want to add a break even here, all right, so we have our swing point trail. So let's add another one here. All right, so let's do a break even at 10 ticks of profit. Here we go. All right, so the break evens are pretty straightforward. We need to go into the trigger, and we're gonna add a delay. Right, so well, there's two ways we can do this. We can either use the delay, which I personally think is a lot easier, or you could also use the profit or loss, right? But the delay is a little easier. So what we're going to do is enable the ticks of movement, right? And so you can see it's in a profitable direction, and it's already defaulted to 10 ticks. So basically this means, right, when the market moves in a profitable direction of 10 ticks, then that is our delay. Our delay is over, right? So once our delay is over, then we can perform some kind of action, some kind of movement, right? We can move the stop loss somewhere. So let's go into the move to, and we want to move that stop loss to break even. So let's probably just, we'll use the average entry price in case you ever like scale in or something like that. Then we'll use the average entry price as the break even instead of the actual entry price for that order set. So, yeah. And that was it. Pretty straightforward. So, and let's see here. David has some other things he'd like to add to it. All right, so he wants to take one contract off at one tick of profit if you're trading two contracts. All right. So yeah, if you want to create a profit target here of 1 tick, so let's create a profit target here. Let's see. Oh, okay. David actually wants 10 ticks of profit. Okay. All right. So yeah, so we can see here from the quick list here. Actually, I'll delete that here. So with the profit target, right, there's already a little quick list here of 10 ticks. So we'll just select that. So there we go. So we have a 10 tick profit target, right? And that's one of the contracts here. And so what we're going to do is make another order set here for the other contract. Right? So think of setting up Blackbird exactly like how you would set up a NinjaTrader ATM strategy, right? If you want to, take a 10 tick profit, right? You enable, you create one order set. But basically, NinjaTrader shows order sets as rows, right? So when you're designing an ATM, you see each of these order sets, you see them in a row style. That's how the ATM does it. Is every row is basically an order set, right? Blackbird displays your order sets in columns, right? And again, so the Ninja's ATM strategy shows each of these order sets as a row. So let's just make a copy of A, right? And so when we copied A, it copied our stop loss rules here, right? So all of our stop loss rules were copied, and then we can just get rid of the profit target there. All right, so there you go. So you got one contract that's gonna, it has a profit of 10 ticks, and the other contract, right, is whatever. You can create whatever profit target you want there, or right now it's just a runner. So, all right, so let's click OK, like so, and there. Let's get that hit. All right, cool. We got that hit, and so let's reverse the markets here. All right, I'll start a little uptrend, and then we'll place a long order here. All right, let's just get past all this text here, so we don't have text on top of text. All right, there. It looks like we got enough distance, so let's go long. There. I'll create a little pullback. Yeah, let's reverse that. There we go. There we go. All right, so there's kind of two ways to do this, right? So we can see our stop loss just moved up to the recent swing low. And now, once we hit this, 10 ticks of profit up here where the profit target is, the remaining stop loss is going to move to break even. Then there you go. Boom. Just move to break even. Right? So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can have the stop loss move up as the swing points, in case you get this little pullback right after getting filled, you could have your stop losses move up, or if you want your stop losses to wait, if you want your stop losses to wait until the break even before it starts trailing the swing lows, then what we can do, let's see here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of order B here. I'm just going to go into the stop loss for A. And so what we can do is we can take our existing swing point trailing rule here, and I can go into the triggers and add the same delay here. Right, so I can add a 10 tick, 10 tick of profitable movement delay into the swing point trailing roll here. So now the stop loss will wait for the break even rule to execute first, and then the stop loss can start trailing the swing points just simply by adding that delay, right? But if you want your stop loss to just follow the swing points like I just demonstrated here, and and then move to break even, then we could just get rid of this delay here. So pretty simple to kind of adjust this here. So let's see here. I'll just leave that delay enabled for now. There. And let's see here. All right, so I'll do that. And then we'll copy A, get rid of the profit target, and there we go. So now if I go into the stop loss here, for order B, I can see there's my swing point trailing roll, and it has the 10 tick delay here, 10 ticks of movement delay. Before the stop loss will start following the swing points or trailing the swing points.